So, Kwe everyone, good evening, bonsoir. Many thanks for your presence tonight. I am Pierre Desrosiers, the Director at Large of the Ontario Archaeological Society, Ottawa chapter. And I would like to first state that the OAS Ottawa chapter acknowledge that we are based on the unceded and unsurrendered Anishinaabe territory in the Ottawa Valley. The Anishinaabe have a rich cultural heritage attached to this land that can be traced back to immemorial times. We honor their long history of welcoming many nations to this beautiful land. Tonight, we have a very special presentation by young archaeologists who are working at developing the capacities of the Anishinaabe in managing archaeology. In 2021, I had the chance to participate as their instructor on the first excavation season and on the first lab work. This will always remain for me a very positive experience. The participants of the Anishinabe Odjibikan have impressed me with their great motivation, their wills to learn and to make a difference for their communities. So let's welcome Jennifer, Drew, Jenna, Brighton, and Kyle. Welcome.
Hi, thank you for having us. So I guess we'll just start with introductions, just so you know who's who. So I'm Jennifer, I'm from Kitigan. I'm 23 years old and a graduate from Ottawa.
Hi, I'm Jenna, I'm from Pikwakanagan. I'm also 23 and I'm currently completing my honors bachelor's of biology at Ottawa.
Hi, I'm Drew Tanasco. I'm her sister, and I'm also 23.
You want
Kwe, my name's Brighton Baudouin, and 23 years old, and I'm from Kitigan, and I'm also a Anishinabe Odjibikan member.
And Kyle won't be joining us tonight as he had something else, but he might join us later.
Yes. So we'll get into the presentation. We'll just be presenting about our field school, and you guys hope everyone enjoys.
Okay, so I'll begin. Hello, Kwe. Today I'll be introducing our field school, Anishinabe Odjibikan. We are Anishinabe Algonquin-led archaeological field school. We are a collaboration between Kitigan Anishinaabe and the Algonquins of Pikwakanagan First Nation. We are a team of Anishinaabe youth who work in the National Capital Region on our traditional territory. There are 16 of us in the 2022 field season this summer. So we had 10 from Kitigan, 6 from Pikwakanagan. However, when we first started the field school in August 2021, we were only 8, 4 from each community. So we really have grown. We work alongside the NCC, so Ian, Bob, Monica, as they support and help teach us the ways of archaeology. So our name, Anishinabe Odjibikan, is in Anishinabe our Algonquin language. It translates to Anishinaabe roots. As a group, we chose this name for a few reasons. Firstly, we want to describe how we are the roots both physically and spiritually. Spiritually, as we are the descendants of our ancestors. Our capability to grow, propagate, and share the knowledge they have given us is something each of us are striving for. Physically, we are connected to the earth through our work and culture. To walk and work on land such as those in Quebec means being on the same lands that our ancestors once occupied. It is something we respect deeply and is not taken lightly. Secondly, it is also really important for us to incorporate the language. That is something we do not see often today, and it is a result of it being taken from us, and we want to keep it alive. For our logo, I'll go back to it here. You can see some of the things we have chosen to represent the values and story of our Anishinabe Algonquin Field School. It features Mother Earth with her hair symbolizing our roots. Behind her is the Kichisibi, the place we carry out our work. She is encircled by sweetgrass and the medicine wheel. It demonstrates our dedication to the preservation of our land in the past, the present, and future of our culture and generations. Finally, she is seen uplifting the Mokaman, a stone knife found on Parliament Hill in 2019, which is the genesis of our program. As for our hopes and dreams, Anishinabe Odjibikan is an archaeological field school with goals to become an established program to rescue and preserve eroding archaeological sites and become the stewards of our archaeological legacy. So Anishinabe Odjibikan is, as I said, Anishinabe Odjibikan is a partnership between our two communities with PSPC, so Public Service and Procurement Canada, Indigenous Services Canada, and the National Capital Commission. PSPC was instrumental in securing the funding through the Strategic Partnership Initiative. It funds our field school in their Strategic Partnership Initiative to engage with First Nation communities. And obviously the NCC helps us in archaeology as they teach us how to do everything that involves archaeology in the region. And lastly, our list of honorable mentions: Algonquin College, as they lent us space for lab work last year during our 2021 field season, CCI, the Canadian Conservation Institute, for support and in developing replicas of the Mokaman for both communities of KZ and Pic, the Canadian Museum of History, Pierre Desrosiers, the curator of archaeology. He was our first instructor. Parks Canada for support and networking opportunities, Muskokan First Nation for their support, and Jim Mountain from the Israeli School of Architecture at Carleton University in supporting our future plans and engaging with us. All these partnerships help us develop our field school, so Kachimigwech to those involved.
Hi, so I'll be talking about the origins. So on this slide, you could see like all the important dates. So this is the origin of Anishinabe Odjibikan. The concept of this field school was created after the Mokaman was found on Parliament Hill in 2019, after the rehabilitation of Center Block. After that, in 2020, it was realized that there was a need for more Indigenous people in archaeology. After many meetings with the two communities from Pikwakanagan and KZ, Kitigan Zibi, the idea of the field school was formed. And in 2021, the two communities sent 4 members each, so a total of 8 of us, to Ottawa to work in the field school and take part in learning new skills. So that was the first year of the field school. And in 2022, we continued in our second year with the NCC and using their office space that they provided to us. And this year, our field school grew to 16 participants. So now I'll talk a little bit about what we've done so far. A few things that we've done with our field school and learned is we've done some work along the Kichisibi, so the Ottawa River, from our ancestors to be uncovered from our Anishinaabe ancestors. From the work that we do, we often do opening ceremonies at each site that includes drumming, singing, smudging, and prayer to open the site in a good way and be guided by our ancestors. A lot of the work that we've done so far has been mitigation on sites identified in the NCC's projects. A big focus for us in these sites is the eroding sites along the Kichisibi that we want to protect and rescue as much as our legacy as possible. As a direct result of Anishinabe Odjibikan, our participants have gained opportunities to work alongside consultants from different parts of Ontario and Quebec. So me, my sister and Jenna, and one of our other members, Derek, we were able to perform stage 2 trenching in the Ottawa region, which was pretty cool after doing 1 year of the field school. And we were also able to gain like valuable experiences from that directly because of our involvement in the field school. Along with that, Kyle and Jenna were able to work in different archaeologist sites during the pilot season of 2021. And they were involved in different test pittings around the territories between Pikwakanagan and Ottawa. Miigwech.
And also we just have a couple of videos to show, just to show what we've done, and so you could see a visual of our field school. And so we have a TikTok here that we work on together, and
Working with Brooke, Emma, and Kyle. Both Emma and Brooke are in their first year. Emma and Kyle are both from Pikwakanagan. Kyle is in his second year, as well as taking the role as a supervisor for this year. Brooke is from Kitigan GB. They are all hard workers. Working with
so that's one of them, and they're just pretty short videos just to show a visual of what we do. And a lot of people from our community like to look at these and
working with Alina and Ken. They opened these new units this morning and have already started finding material. Alina is in her second year of field school, and Ken is in his first year. Both are from Kitigan City and have been traveling back and forth every morning. They are very hard workers.
So that's just a bit of just to show you guys what we do, I guess. And yeah, you could go check out more of the TikToks as well. We do post a lot on there, as well as our Facebook and our social medias.
Yeah.
So next I'll just be talking about why Indigenous-led archaeology is important, and specifically kind of important to us as Anishinaabe people. So Indigenous-led archaeology is important because it has historically been overlooked by Western institutions. And the archaeology done in our territory has also been done from a colonial point of view. Through our field school, now our archaeological program, Anishinabe Odjibikan, we are introducing the technical skills and knowledge to our Anishinaabe Algonquin youth. And alongside this, we are working with our communities to incorporate traditional knowledge and teachings to work towards a common goal for many First Nations, revitalization of culture. By incorporating these values and learning, we are attempting to utilize these tools to inform our interpretations of the artifacts and sites we are working on. It is our sentiment and ideology that First Nation voices should be heard and considered in equal parts to Western scientific methods. So I guess a couple of the things that help us really like amplify our voices, some UNDRIP articles, and the TRC's calls to action. And so in the last few years there have been changes and actions made on a grand scale. These developments include the articles outlined in UNDRIP and the TRC's calls to action. These documents are a valuable tool to us as they advocate for the values that Anishinabe Odjibikan upholds. They give credibility when we take action, and they are documents that the Government of Canada has agreed to adopt. And so I would just like to share a couple of the articles from UNDRIP that we believe are important to our mission, or to what we stand for, kind of. So I have articles 4 and 5, and then Article 26, but I'll just read the last one, which states that Indigenous people have the right to the lands and territories and resources which they have traditionally owned, occupied, or otherwise used or acquired, and it directs states to give legal recognition to these territories. So yeah, these are just a couple of the tools that kind of help us get where we want to be. And so to get where we want to be, we have just kind of together, we've come up with these goals for what we would like to see going forward within our field school. And so one of them is to be recognized by Canadians and the government. Yeah. And then the next, to make the field school an established year-round program. So we would, right now we're operating 19 weeks in the summertime, but we would like to be a year-round field school, as it would really help a lot and establish our field school and these goals we have for going forward in reclaiming our history and our and these traditional artifacts. And so I guess that goes into my next one, reclaiming the history of our people, rescue and preserve eroding archaeological sites, and then continuing our relationship with the land. For us, the land is very important to us, and our work that we're doing right now, we work on the land, and we dig, and we have ceremonies and things like that. And so being out in the land for us is we're continuing that reciprocal traditional relationship with the land. And yeah, it's very nice, as Indigenous people coming to an urban city, or living in an urban city, and being able to provide to continue a relationship with the land, even in places like this, in Ottawa. And then become the stewards of our archaeological legacy. So yeah, ultimately all these goals we would like to kind of see going forward, and we do have more as well, but these are just a couple of them that we're highlighting today. And so, which brings me to my next point, history. So I'll be talking about the history of archaeology and colonialism, because, or as we've known, like, archaeology has a long colonial history. Just speaking for myself, I know, like, working with like the different archaeologists, I could kind of see it, and I'm pretty sure like most people too can just differentiate how we do things versus how other archaeologists do things. And so we're kind of shifting to decolonize archaeology in some aspects. First Nations have been left out of proper consultations for a long time, and engagements regarding the excavations on their own territory. And this has included our people on our territory for a long time, until just recently as well. Excavation often also takes place with little regard to the lands and waterways. Archaeology also has a history of effectively stealing ancestral Indigenous artifacts from the many nations of Turtle Island and placing them within the confines of museums, in which the public must pay to observe these items behind a glass. Anishinabe Odjibikan is changing the colonial narrative of archaeology. by restoring our relationship with the land through ceremony, returning our ancestral artifacts to our communities, and ensuring advocacy for proper archaeological consultation on our unceded territory. So yeah, that's just a bit about kind of like where we're coming with this stuff or with this, and yeah, and then Brighton will talk about this.
Hello. So I will be talking about the validation and affirmation of our oral history and traditions. We as Anishinaabe people do not necessarily need the validation and affirmation of our oral history and traditions. But since the arrival of the settlers, the oral histories and stories of our people have not always been observed as factual. Through archaeology, we can provide tangible proof and affirmation of our oral histories and traditions via a Western method. The artifacts we uncover are the undeniable proof of the inhabitation, use, and stewardship of our territory since time immemorial. Next, I would like to talk about the preservation, revitalization, and reclamation. Uncovering ancestral artifacts and being the first to come into contact with them since they were last used by our ancestors is empowering. Being part of such important work for our communities to once again be able to take stewardship of our heritage and bring these artifacts home for preservation is spiritual work. At Anishinabe Odjibikan, we are participating in much more than archaeology. We are actively taking back what is rightfully ours, honoring our past, and reigniting an ancestral flame that cannot be easily extinguished. We are carving a path for future generations to not be able to touch, to be able to touch, and feel their Anishinaabe legacy and brilliance, which will without a doubt bring forward future acts of revitalization and reclamation and strengthen our nation. And to finish, I would like to share a few words from Elder Joan Tenasco. She provided this word teaching to Carleton University, and we feel like it's applicable to the values Anishinabe Odjibikan aspires to. The word is anako. Anako is a connection, an extension, a generational continued connection. Anako means that we are connecting across generations, including with people from the spirit world who have passed, with the people of today, and with the future generations who are not born yet. We are all connected and we will continue being connected. Anako is a very short and sweet word that explains this whole process of our connectedness. This word directly feeds into our work because no matter how old these artifacts are, we are always connected to them through our ancestors generations ago. This is a great way to explain the relationship we have with these artifacts, and is the reason we believe our work to be so important. Miigwech.
Oh. Okay, so I just want to express that these opportunities to come speak on the importance of our field school and share our efforts in decolonizing archaeology in the National Capital Region are extremely valuable to us, and we appreciate the invite greatly. So thank you very much, everyone, for listening from all of us at Anishinabe Odjibikan. And finally, we are also on social media, so Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. So we can keep you up to date about our crew, what we're doing, what we're finding, and our future projects and plans for the field school.
Miigwech. Thank you for listening.
Fabulous. You're really on top of things. So before we go to the question, I'd like to pass it to our new president, Philippe Trottier.
Thanks, Pierre. First of all, I want to say thank you for the presentation. It's very not only interesting, but very inspiring to hear of the interest and participation not only a younger generation, seeing that I'm an old guy, but of our a younger Indigenous generation and an interest in the North American prehistory. Archaeology as a science is barely 200 years old. It kind of started with Theomin and the search for the lost city of Troy in the Trojan Wars in Greece. And North American archaeology as a science is less than 150 years old. And I find it very heartening that indeed you've come to embrace this science and to use this science of archaeology to foster the legacy of Indigenous people. And I find that it's most encouraging and something that we certainly need in this day and age. I find it very refreshing to see that you're breathing new life and energy into this work. And I wish you all the success in this field school. And I surely hope that your efforts continue and that you continue to receive funding, especially on a year-round basis. So again, thank you very much for this presentation. It's I find it very, very refreshing and interesting, and something that has been needed for some time, and to see that it's starting to bear fruit is just terrific. So thank you.